Cars Channel News and Review Car.
(2017) Opel Insignia Grand Sport. When it comes to major automotive offerings from Germany, Opel isn't usually the first name to pop up. But it isn't for lack of trying. The brand is well established across several international markets, with its flagship Insignia sedan leading the charge, packing premium touches at a bargain price point. Originally unveiled in 2008 at the British International Motor Show, the midsize Insignia hasn't failed to make the sale, with over 900,000 units moved since its introduction and a variety of accolades awarded. Now, as we quickly approach 2017, Opel says it's dead set on launching 17 new models, including the new generation Insignia. Boasting a lower curb weight, more technology, a new architecture, and new styling, Opel's next-gen flagship clearly isn't pulling any punches. The whole thing draws heavily from the brand's Monza concept, revealed in 2013 at the Frankfurt Motor Show. The new Insignia is tasked with introducing the production side of Opel's latest design philosophy evolution, and as such, it's adopting a new name, Grand Sport. It's a title that should only be reserved those models that offer superior comfort and style for the long haul, plus adequate, or more than adequate, prowess and speed when the feeling is right. Does the new Insignia fit the bill? Well, one quick glance at the spec sheet suggests it's at least heading in the right direction. And that's a good thing, because the Insignia is much more than just an Opel. Swap the badges and tweak some of the equipment, and it's a Vauxhall in the UK, a Holden Commodore in Australia, and a Buick Regal in China and the US. That makes this car extremely important to several big names, not just Opel. But the question remains, does it have what it takes to get out of the shadow of the big German three? Continue reading to learn more about the Opel Insignia Grand Sport. Old Insignia, left, versus new Insignia, right. To my eyes, the original Opel Insignia, pictured on the left, was not exactly the most brilliant piece of design to ever wear four wheels. Of course, it wasn't ugly either, rather, it was just a touch too bland, offering uninspiring shapes and a character that never really managed to stand out from the crowd. The term rental car readily springs to mind. Drawing the majority of inspiration from the 2013 Monza concept, the new Insignia is a huge improvement. By contrast, the new Opel Insignia, pictured on the right, is a sight to behold. Drawing the majority of inspiration from the 2013 Monza concept, the new Insignia is a huge improvement. Indeed, Opel even says the Monza concept was present in studio as the designers went about penning the new Grand Sport model. Their mission was to make the new Insignia look as upscale, slim and athletic as the concept car, Opel says. So far, so good. The new Insignia offers larger dimensions, more on that later, as well as restructured proportions, all of which lend it that true flagship presence referenced by Opel. The new Insignia offers larger dimensions, as well as restructured proportions, all of which lend it that true flagship presence. The car is wider, longer, and lower than before, and attempts to capture the sporty, aggressive nature of a high-end, RWD sports model, while simultaneously lending an air of top-shelf luxury cruiser. The proportions do away with a traditional three-box sedan approach, and instead adopt the ever-popular profile and roofline of a four-door coupe. Let's check out the styling features of the Insignia Grand Sport in a bit more detail. We find the new generation pulls the most from the original concept vehicle up front, with a wide, grinning grille, now lower than before, small and narrow headlights with upturned checkmark daytime running lights, aka a double-wing LED signature, and flared-out creases in the lower bumper accentuated by polished metal. It's all quite horizontal and stretched. And it looks vastly sportier and more premium than the outgoing Insignia. In terms of proportions, the front axle looks as though it was pushed away from the cabin, adding an extra premium flair to the front half of the car. Moving to the side, the Grand Sport's coupe-like ambitions become obvious, as the roofline falls gently into the rear end in a gently sloping arc above the rear axle. The side window garnish now gets the usual chrome accents across the top half of the car, rather than the circular embellishments of the outgoing model. Keeping chrome across the top of the windows helps to accentuate the car's roofline, a move that's subtle, but effective. Lower in the flanks is a blade-like catcher character line that starts below the A-pillars and ends up in the rear doors. This adds a little extra visual beefiness to the car's rear end, suggesting a raked stance and its associated sportiness. In back, the shape of the front grille is repeated in the trunk lid, while the shape of the headlights is repeated in the taillights. The taillights also get the slim, double-wing treatment, accentuating the car's visual width, plus they come with LED lighting elements. There's also a new center LED stoplight placed higher up on the roofline. Lower in the bumper, there are dual circular exhaust outlets framed in black. Not only is the whole thing quite shapely, it's also surprisingly aerodynamic, boasting a drag coefficient of 0.26. Onto the underpinnings. If it looks like the new Insignia has grown, it's because it has, with an extra 92 mm, 3.6 inches, added to the wheelbase. The car's overall length has increased as well, now up to 4,897 mm, 192.8 inches, overall, a gain of 67 mm, 2.6 inches, total. Opel calls it marginal growth. To help bolster its attempts at sporty visuals, Opel also decreased front and rear overhangs. Exact numbers on this were not provided, while the track was widened by 11 mm, 0.4 inches, which should help the thing handle a little better as well. What's more, the roofline was lowered by 29 mm, 1.1 inches. Not only is the whole thing quite shapely, it's also surprisingly aerodynamic, boasting a drag coefficient of 0.26. For reference, the 2017 Toyota Prius Prime has a CD of 0.25. I totally understand Opel's approach for the new Insignia. The whole four-door coupe look is still all the rage, and it certainly works well on this model. It's a clean design, one that should resonate with buyers much more effectively than the outgoing styling. Old three-box sedans are out, while coupe rooflines are in. Old three-box sedans are out, coupe rooflines are in. The character lines in the profile and the creases in the fenders and hood complement the look, adding character without too much clutter. I also like the slight upturn in the trunk. Once again, it's sporty, but not overly aggressive or busy. But I'm finding some fault with the front. The nose on the Monza concept looks fantastic, with its huge side intakes and elegant creases, while the Grand Sport is a little too much of a compromise, especially in the lower bumper wings. The grille looks a bit like a Mazda, while the headlights look like an Audi. The grille looks a bit like a Mazda, while the headlights look like an Audi. But beyond this nitpicking, I think Opel did a great job refreshing the look of its flagship. The look does indeed find a nice mix between sportiness and elegance, and although it's not perfect, it's still a remarkable improvement over the outgoing model. As a side note, expect this sedan to spawn an upcoming wagon body style as well, and, if rumors are to be believed, us Americans may very well see it turn up in Buick dealerships sometime in the future.